Let's take a look at the second question, and this one's for Jay. To start, every social distribution channel has seen an increase in usage. Which social media channels are you seeing your clients take advantage of the most?
Well, I think you almost have the big four now, right, which are almost falling off a log, sort of must-do. It's just based on penetration, right? So you've got your Facebook, you've got your Twitter, you've got your LinkedIn, and now to some degree YouTube. And if you look at the data points, there's clearly sort of those four, and then it falls off fairly dramatically. And what's somewhat interesting, I think, is that that's the same big four for B2C as it is for B2B.
We talked about format earlier, right? Social media is the same thing. And so, quite frankly, with Facebook, unless you have a plan, how are you going to build that engagement? I mean, let's face it, you know, everybody isn't Cisco. Everybody doesn't have a dedicated 12-person social media team that spends their whole living and breathing moment working on this stuff. You know, and even if you do, it's hard to pull off. And so, you know, I think we have to be thoughtful about how we're using social media and what's going to feed that. Really, you know, and people are saying they're having trouble producing enough content and engaging content. Well, this just requires more.
Well, what's interesting, I think the numbers are coming up because everything's easier. You know, it used to be back in the day, well, we got to build a website. Well, you know, it's going to take 8 months, you know, for us to do this and all that. It's like, well, I don't need an agency anymore. I can just create whatever I want. And I think what you're talking about, Ardith, is planning and strategy, because I'm finding a majority of my clients are focusing on where. That's all they care about. They want to know where they need to be. And I say, stop. We don't know where you should be. Let's figure out who and what. Who do we want to talk to? What do we want to say? Once we figure that out, then we know where they are. So maybe it will work B2B for Facebook, or maybe it won't. And I think the increase of Facebook is just because it's easy.
And it's trying to push content from one channel to another that doesn't make sense. I look at how many B2B clients I see who automatically drive their Twitter post to Facebook, and it's harsh when you see it in the wrong format.
Right. But you know, the other thing, bringing up they don't know who runs them. I remember it was 2 years ago, I think, and I was doing a job for a company that said, and this is enterprise company, technology company that still has the corporate editing thing in place that you want to strangle. And you know. But they said to me, oh, legal will never let us do social media. I looked at them and I said, how much do you want to bet me that you're already on social media? They said, oh, we couldn't be. Nobody would dare. Took me, within 10 minutes, I found 22 accounts. And that was just in 10 minutes. And they just sat there with their mouths hanging open saying, this is not right. This has to stop. We have to get control of this, you know? And I thought, where have you people been, you know?
But the reality is, even if they don't have company-run social media, they're on social media anyway, because everybody's talking about them, right?
Michael, I want to touch on something you said, you know, not starting with the where, but the who and the what. And I thought that was really profound. What are you seeing as actually some of the, you know, companies that are really doing a good job at this? You
know, you look at organizations, you know, like REI, you know, they do an amazing job in content marketing. You look at Coca-Cola and what their vision is right now and what they're doing. They're taking the time to figure it out, and it's not scientific. I mean, it can get scientific, but you don't have to complicate it. So I think the ones who make it look like it's not complicated and really focusing on specific audiences are doing a really good job. Just taking the time to figure it out.
It's interesting as you describe that. I'm going to tie it back to your earlier point about the humanization of all of this technology. And you think about the personas. What is that? That's a manifestation of what? Really understanding who you're talking to, and not just putting up a technology site that you think appeals to your audience, but really getting deeply inside what they care about. Right. And building content to help them.
Yeah, and to piggyback on what you said who you're talking to, and I'm not picking, but it's who you're speaking with. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's no longer just a push. Yeah. It's, you know, we all know it's a conversation, it's a way of doing that. But really at the end of the day, you're looking at, okay, how can I convert them into a customer and how can I get them to spend money? Yeah. But you are taking a step back and saying, okay, how do I move them through different channels because of who they are based on their interests, and how do I engage them?